Hello, welcome back to 147. Hi, Dan. How we doing?
Back of the net.
Oh, yeah. It's not a net, though. Pocket.
It is. There is a netted pocket. I
There
think
is.
back of the net. I think back
Works.
of the net would constitute. Yeah.
Drop into the net. Tentatively. What? Um, Dan, we've
Used
just.
all of the jaws.
Have you heard this stuff in the snooker community at the moment that the jaws are far too forgiving? Forgiving
Are
jaws.
they
Like
going
when
to
the
American?
shark went vegetarian.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like when Bond got a magnet.
Um,
Got
yeah.
more jaws jokes.
Yeah, jaws. Yeah, yeah. Um, I was on Twitter the other day. And have you seen Mark Williams' Twitter account? It's
No.
mental. He types like he's got dyslexia. He might have, but he makes no attempt to correct spelling, and he does it on purpose. And it's just horrifically spelt all the words. But he's quite good fun on
Okay.
there because he sort of leans into the fact that he's a bit of an alcoholic. Should have done
It's a
much
bit
more
of a
with his
geese, isn't he?
career. Proper geezer. Um, and the other day he was taking a shot, and he said he put his glasses upside down, and it
Right.
magnified everything, and the balls were huge. It made it much easier for him. So we might have a return to good old Dennis Taylor vibe. Mark
All
Williams.
right.
Mark Williams doesn't wear glasses, does he? He must
I
wear
was going to say,
contacts.
I don't. I think Dennis Taylor actually needed them to see, as opposed to just using goggles to see more.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was getting an edge. I'm not saying it was on.
If
Makes you
anything, he
wonder.
should be. Yeah, exactly. Should they all imagine if snooker in 20 years, if all snooker players had fucking ridiculous clown glasses on to help them see better,
What are clown glasses?
just normal glasses but massive.
Right. Like, oh, what's that disabled? Oh no, she's just in my personal life. I know some disabled girl with big glasses. What's she called? Anyway, um, of the disability already.
Jack Carroll,
Speaking of the disabled, um, Steve Davis
no
has
neck,
has as well as the neck crippling neck issues, has DG
low
inquiries.
self-esteem.
Should we,
That's
Master on Air,
deep heat
send
inquiries.
yeah, from
What did
bending
he?
over, he bends over so much now he's a Mr. King. Anything lower than the shoulder blades and he's a fucking god. Um no, he does a DJ inquiries. God. So
Oh
should we
yeah,
give him
they
a
all do
we'll
that
send him a
though.
quick sorry, all old world championship snooker players have DJ inquiries. Do they? Name another.
John Virgo.
He doesn't. He's
He's
not a
definitely done a club night.
oh, I hope no, that's so sad. That's like in the office when Brent's trying to hold on to fame and he's doing all these like awfully depressing.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't you take swipes at Virgo?
I'm not taking swipes in. I'm saying it would be sad if he did do that.
I'm
Undeniably
telling you,
sad.
he does.
Oh, that's awful. Also, when the UK Champs was on,
Yeah.
it was Finland's highest rated TV show.
Was it? Shout out
Finland
Finland.
are huge into their snooker. Huge. They are
Have
loving
you
their
ever been?
snooker. No, I've been to Latvia, which
Ah,
is relatively close, but I've never been to.
relatively close.
And you know something about Latvia and Finland, don't you, Dan? You have a little fact about that, don't you?
Oh, I do,
No, with
but it's
alcohol.
not appropriate.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, no. Everybody goes into no. It's Estonia, not Latvia
Oh, Estonia's above it.
and Finland.
Obviously, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's they go to all the Finnish go to. They go on a little journey, get their alcohol in Estonia, and then they finish
Right.
back in Helsinki,
Very nice. I
where they Helsinki a few beers.
have you seen this trend recently where snooker players are just giving up on giving up on matches? You know David Gilbert.
Oh no.
Do you remember
Right, yeah.
who we
Good.
learnt nicknames the Angry Farmer? Was it Angry Farmer or something?
Yeah, something like that.
He was in the German. There was like the German Masters qualifying, right? And sorry, Dan is now using
I'm a
his
handkerchief guy now. Yeah, I'm a
as,
handkerchief
as
guy
we
now.
discussed in the latest episode of 15. Check that out on Friday. Not out yet. So it
No.
was out first.
When does this come out? Oh,
First.
first. There you go.
Before. No, the first of
And
him.
all of our Patreon members can find where you can buy similar handkerchiefs
So anyway, for the German Masters, which is in like March or whatever it is, basically none of the top 16 are qualified. Like they all could not be arsed. Anyway,
Yeah.
David Gilbert is up against.
Who would go to
God
Germany
knows.
in March?
Oh, Germans love to march. Come on,
Hey,
come on!
back of the what? Back of the jaws, or whatever you said earlier.
Net.
No doubt, sunk in the jaws.
Oh.
Sorry.
Come on, that was a good one. Anyway,
That
David
was a good-
Gilbert was up against someone, and he was 3-2 down in a best of 9, right? So
Okay.
he's in the game. He's in the game. Anyways,
He's in it to win it.
He comes to the table. He's lining up a red, and he misses it, right? And he gets back up and just sort of complete exasperation goes, "That'll do, mate." All right, shakes left hand, shakes his mate's hand, and leaves. Now, obviously, because of the era we're in, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but I kind of am. Obviously, we're in an era where mental health is very much at the prominence. So instead of everyone just thinking this is fucking hilarious, which I think is objectively funny, him just going out,
Yeah.
"That'll do, mate. Fuck it."
So he's what? He's 3-2 down.
3-2 down.
So he's only
five for the
about
German-
one frame.
Yeah, and it's a ranking event. It's qualifying for a ranking event, but still, German Masters is a good event. And everyone's obviously saying, "Oh, I hope you're all right, mate. Take the time you need." And I'm like, yeah, that is true if that is what is going on. But if it's not what's going on, he's completely given up
If
on
he's
his job.
just given
Like,
up.
if I was a bus driver and I was on the frigging motorway, I don't know why I'm there, but I just pull off into the hard shot and go, "Ah, that'll do. That'll do me," and walk off, I'd get
Yeah.
absolutely bollocked.
Yeah, that's true. That
Um,
or Rio Ferdinand. Okay, beyond the times.
further,
Erling
his
Haaland.
wife died.
Erling
His
Haaland.
wife died.
Erling Haaland. Yeah.
Then he moved on
Erling
within a
Haaland.
month. His wife died, did a documentary, next month married again. That documentary should have been I think it should have been a crime thriller. I'm not saying that,
out.
actually. Yeah.
Erling Haaland misses a goal, walks off the pitch. That's the
You're right.
equivalent.
That's that. Satire. That's satire.
But football isn't necessarily the best exponent for mental health or homosexuality, is it, Luke? But your favourite sport. There you go. Not like
It's
snooker.
not my favourite
All the
sport.
gays.
It's not my favourite sport. Snooker is the sport. That's where it's at. As you can probably tell, we haven't done any prep for this. However,
Don't lie.
Masters is going
I have
on.
done some prep.
before we
I
do
watched some of it.
Masters, should we do UK champs and then we do the Chinese
Let's do
scandal?
UK champs. Obviously, Ding beat Ronnie. We were a bit upset about that, but Ronnie's always,
Bye-bye.
had a soft spot for Ding. Probably let
And
him win.
Ding's soft
That's
spot.
what I'm saying. So Ding couldn't produce the thing to beat Mark Allen. A couple of chances
That
though.
was Steve Davis pun back. Not pun, just lyricism. Lyricism? Absolute spitting
Verbatim.
bars.
On his club sessions. Got that in my face. Yeah, there was a couple of opportunities, Ding, but he just didn't have the
So anyway,
surety.
Ding lost to
Can
Mark
you
Allen.
see I'm dragging that back up from memory? I did watch a bit of it.
I did actually watch it, but Mark Allen, of course, manages to get it's Dan.
You
'cause
like Mark Allen
he
a lot
sinks
more than
he
me.
sinks a red and a black, and he's found himself out of the red and back into the black in his crippling debt.
Yeah.
So very well done to Mark Allen.
The
on that.
pistol, bang.
The pistol, the kebab. And that's his second ranking event, and he's now just admittedly the World Championships, but the World Championships away from being Triple Crown holder, which would be fucking mental. I like Mark Allen as much as the next guy, unless the next guy's
Not
a
a triple
bartender.
crowner
But yeah, he's not-
though, or a debt collector.
or he can eat buffet manager. It's just horrible. Anyway, he lost 4 stone. Good luck to the lad, to the kid. I don't know anything about a ripping now, would you? Let's get to the 2022 Masters, Dan.
Is he even Irish? He is Irish.
He's known Irish, yes.
He's not Irish.
He's from Derry. I don't know if he's from Derry.
Before we get to the Masters, should we talk a little bit about the allegations?
Well, I think
in
they're more
the
than
press?
allegations.
Well, they're a personal attack on Sean Murphy. If Sean Murphy's got anything to say about it, which you know he has.
Well, let's bring this up. So there's another podcast.
Do you think he's annoyed that Ronnie was the most outspoken, so he's had to up his game?
He's very much become almost a voice for snooker, but he's sort of put that on his own
Yeah.
shoulders. Sort of ox fucking bison shoulders.
Magician.
Just one fat shaming joke after another. That's all the show is. Show's too grandiose a term.
Did you see?
Um,
He's the magician, isn't it? That is his nickname.
The magician, the Wizard of Wilshire. No, yeah, the magician.
No, that's
I
Hom,
know. Yes, yes, yes.
the magician.
The
You know what he
magician
pulls out of a hat, don't you? Burgers.
makes diets disappear. um. Anyway, so he pulls the win.
What's his favourite shot? Jello.
That's good. Ish. No, your favourite shot, insulin.
No, but he is very outspoken. And maybe you could link that interview he did
Nah.
where he just
No, Dan. Not an
Content.
interview. What podcast was he on?
Oh, Q to Q.
No, 147. Their podcast is called. It's Sean Murphy, some crap broadcaster who's like, a typical broadcaster that's doing a podcast now and still talks like a broadcaster. And Sean, what do you think of that? And never listened to a fucking podcast in his life. Anyway, they've called their podcast 147. Now we have got the numerical value 147 because we were a month before them, and they have written it out, which looks shite. And they haven't put any space in between it. Just 147. Awful.
Yeah,
all lowercase as well.
But they've got the kudos because they are actual snooker people.
And they actually talk about snooker and just talk about Chinese people.
About
Anthony players.
Or about the German qualifying events for the German Masters where David Gilbert was 2-3 down against someone.
Milk.
Yeah, but
it was Milk.
They know who it was. Also, do you know the kind of guy who would definitely walk away from a game? Martin Gould. Yeah, I'll pop at him.
Chain smoker.
Yes. So, but to the
chest infection.
Allegations. Yeah. To the allegations, obviously,
So,
Yang Bingtao and
Zhao Zintong.
Yeah.
And Liang Wenbo.
Well, yeah. The other first two suspended under
top 16 players. Top 16 players, and
just been kicked out of the Masters.
Yan Bingtao won the last Masters, didn't he? He won the last Masters of it, right?
No, Liang Wenbo won the last Masters.
No. Yan Bingtao.
No, he won the UK's.
Yan Bingtao. I don't think Liang Wenbo's won anything, to be honest. Oh, but yeah, did he win the UK?
No, he won the UK because do you remember he couldn't speak any English.
Yan. That's Yan. That was Yan.
That's Yan.
Yeah, Liang Wenbo was like a top 16 player a few years ago, but he's never won anything.
I do get confused.
And Zhao Yingtong won the German Masters this year.
He's far less intimidating.
Yeah, no, he looks nice. He seemed like a nice guy. Anyway, both top 16 players have been banned.
Because Yang Bingtao definitely looks like the kind of guy who'd break your legs if you didn't agree with match fixing. Don't you think?
The tubby
guy?
He
looks mean.
Tubby guy? He looks like a sort of cuddly panda.
No, not at all. Violent panda. Very violent.
Anyway, they've been banned. We haven't done any research on any of this.
Well, Yang Bingtao resigned.
Well,
retired.
No. Liang Wenbo. Fucking hell, this is going to seem racist, Dan. What are we doing here? Liang Wenbo has retired. Now, following his retirement, Sean Murphy went on his podcast, also named 147, and said what to Dan? Can you remember what he talked about? Paraphrase what Sean Murphy said.
It's disgrace. He's let himself down. He's let the sport down, and the sport's well rid of him. And good riddance.
I said good riddance because Liang Wenbo a couple of years ago.
And that's right, Luke. And I will stand up and say, actually, if they have done wrongdoing, I'm not in the wrong for discrediting them from my mind and my memory because I only want to keep good snooker players there.
Dan, but this is the thing. Sean Murphy got on Liang Wenbo because Liang Wenbo beat up some woman in Sheffield City Centre. I'm just saying Liang Wenbo's sort of getting into the Sheffield culture. You know, he's just
and as a fair, you're from the north, aren't you? So you've beaten up many women. No, too far.
Yeah, it's ripping,
you went
and then
too
it's
far.
Just incriminating. So Liang has retired to try escape the limelight and the interrogation that's going to be shown on him. Zhao and Yan are under investigation. Now, because they're under investigation, they were not allowed to compete in the Masters, despite the fact they were top 16 players.
They were suspended.
And they were replaced by...
other players.
They were replaced by the Iranian fella. Oh, come on.
Who beat Mark Selby.
Yeah, what's he called?
Now he's racist.
Yeah, and they were and who else? Dan, come on, Dan, I need you.
Neil Robertson.
Hussein Zafai
Yep.
and David Gilbert, Angry Farmer. There you go. They
Angry
came in.
Farmer.
They came in. So on that, Dan, let's go through the first 3 matches that have been played so far in the Masters.
Let's
By the way,
do
a little
it.
bit on the Masters, Dan. Got to be one of the best tournaments in snooker. Awesome.
We love
tournament.
it. We love it. It's the big guns, no fart arsing around. It's players you want to see. You don't get any riff-raff falling through.
What
You
would
only get the big
Fartarsing
stuff
look
falling
like?
out.
What would very nice. What would Fartarsing look like in snooker?
Neil Robertson.
Well, let's start there.
I don't like him.
So, but just before we do that, Neil Robertson was on the on the last one. Dan keeps going it Q to Q, which sounds like a homoerotic snooker channel. It's Q tips with good old.
I will besmirch it in a meaningful way.
And Neil Robertson was on there recently. He came across a little bit more likable. Started to like him a little bit more. Still just a bit of a knob. It's the Aussie accent maybe. I spent a bit of time in Australia, and yeah.
He just
clearly
looks
not
like a
one there.
bellend. He
Yeah.
looks like a bellend. And acts like he feels like he's friends with Mark Selby, and he's a bellend. And both of them got beaten. One by Sean Mercy and one by Hussein Vafai.
So Murphy knocks out Robertson, and Murphy's having. I mean, we're in 2023 now, and we're only halfway through the season, really. But from 2022 onwards, he's had a hell of a season. He looks awesome.
He's got the guns. Yeah, he does.
He's looking very, very good. And I tell you, well, that's quite a good feather in his cap, knocking off Robertson, who would have been, although Robertson's not in great form for any tournament he's in. He's
still a big player, though, isn't he?
Of course he is.
Yeah, of course he is.
But Murphy, did you catch
he's another one, though, who should have won more than he has.
Robertson?
Yeah.
Robertson should have done. The main thing about Robertson is his world champs performances have been appalling recently. I think since he won, he's only made it to the semi-finals once, and he won in like 2013. So, or 2014, something like that. But he's only made it to the final table setup once since then, which is crazy. That for a man of his talent. He always, every year, he did it last year as well. He had the most centuries for the year. Always gets that one. Very heavy break builder. But the psychology is, I know people can say, oh, a little bit missed here and there, but when that spans over 5 years, it's like there's a little bit more.
Yeah, it gets into your head.
Yeah, definitely. But good Sean Murphy. I know we take the piss out of him, but I do really like English Rose.
Yeah, we like him. The English Rose.
And so that sets
Deflowered Rose.
Is that the name of his wife? So deflowered.
Yeah, no, he's there.
Oh, we learned a bit about his backstory. Do you remember? He was he cheated on his woman.
Got a large back,
and he met her at a Christian something.
Oh yeah, he's Bible basher and stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, but he had an affair with some sex worker.
Yeah, a bit of a weirdo.
Well,
but he wasn't cheating because he didn't love her or something. He did all that thing.
I don't think is that verbatim.
Again,
is that from the hearing? Complete conjecture and probably libelous.
Yeah.
How are we ever going to get
the chink in our armor in the case of who had 147 first? The chink in the armor will be the libel I've just spoken then.
Anyway, if he goes through, he'll be up against Karen Wilson. Or Stuart Bingham.
Yeah.
Either way, that's a great game.
Yeah,
like Murphy against either of those two. Yeah, awesome.
I hope it's Bingham.
Bingham be good. No, that'll be a repeat of the 2018 World Final, was it? When he beat him, or whatever it was. Maybe it was a bit before then, actually. 2018 seems too recent. But yeah, whenever Bingham beat Murphy, it'll be a repeat of that.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice. But yeah, Murphy's been a great film. I can't quite believe that he's only 12th in the world still. That sort of seems mental after how good a year he's had. He seems like he should be a top 8 player. But anyway.
Yeah, but
who do you
maybe
think will win out of Karen and Stuart Bingham?
Again, pretty even Stevens. Karen Wilson's probably the favourite going into it, isn't it? He's sort of the rising star. Probably. Stuart Bingham always hangs around, but
yeah, and he's such a heavy break builder, and in these shorter formats, if he gets going early, Bingham could just overpower him. But
I think that's why he's hung around so long, isn't it? Because of things like the Masters, he always does well in them.
He won it a couple of years ago, didn't he? I think not the year last year, the year before. I think he won it.
Yeah, late winner.
Let's get to
let's talk about the good. Yeah, Selby fucked off.
Okay, we'll talk about that then. Okay, bottom half. Yes, so Selby loses to Hussein Zafai again. Now, Hussein Zafai beat him at the UK Champs as well? He beat him at another big tournament
I
recently.
don't know.
I think he beat him in the
Good.
first round of that as well,
Good.
which is awesome. What a year
Yeah.
Hussein's having, well, season Hussein's having.
And
Selby,
not what a bad year Mark Selby's having.
well, it's intertwined with difficult personal time. Obviously, he came out at the start of last year, or even the year before that, talking about his personal difficulties, and it seems to have completely bled into his snooker because he's had a very bad year.
Yeah, he has.
And we sort of notionally talk about this top four, but with how bad Selby's playing and with Robertson failing to win the big tournaments, maybe it's going to start to blur a little bit those lines and Trump and Robertson.
I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. Ronnie said it so many times that the younger players aren't providing the competition, but it does feel like the Selby, the Judd Trumps, the Robertsons, that's kind of who he's talking to. They're the class after him, and they're not. They should now be sitting top dog. They haven't overtaken them, you know.
So Hussein in the next round will face either Hon Jiggins or Jack Wazowski. Another great match, and that was the semi-final, like UK champs, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, quarterfinal of the UK champs, quarterfinal, because then Higgins lost to Mark Allen, and then Mark Allen beat Ding.
Yeah,
something like that. Anyway, they played an absolute barn burner. They were at the world champs, so recently they played an absolute barn burner.
Your phrases.
Who do you fancy? Hon, Wazowski.
Who do I fancy?
Well, actually, have you heard of Hon?
Hon Jiggins. Hon Jiggins every day.
Hon has started to talk about he's just invested in sports psychology, which obviously Ron has been a big proponent of for many years. With called Stephen, Dr. Stephen.
Whoever he had.
He hangs around. Yeah, he's still around. Yeah. So Hon, for the final stage of his career, is investing a lot of time and effort and moolah
that's
into
good.
that.
Well, he's got moolah.
He's lost a bit of weight. He's the hair, obviously that's the chemo. But he's still at the table. He's still at the bays, you know. And Dan.
Oh yeah, what did we learn today?
BBC
Sport on BBC now.
Yeah, database, like database.
Yeah,
is obviously the material for the.
But it's just awful. Somebody needs to be sacked for that.
Is it the green color of the felt?
No, baize is green felt. Baize, I think, is specific. Well, no, because baize must be specific because it's snooker grade.
Coke,
isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not just any old felt, is it?
No, you get pure grade Coke at the snooker
felt.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty even serious. I hope Hon Jiggins. I love to see him. I've always had a candle for the Scot more than you, I think.
Well, he had some of those dodgy little betting stuff, and it's completely gone under the table. And once again, Stephen Lee, big fat Stephen Lee, put some all to shame. Friggin' hell, Stephen Lee, milkshake bringing all the boys to the yard. Stephen Lee, he was at an exhibition event the other month, and he was just. We could probably get Stephen Lee on. That's the limit. That's sort of our bar. Don't mention bar to him. Fucking hell. We'll pay him in chocolate bars. Anyway. The thing is, we're not exactly Adonises. We're not demigods, are we?
But he's definitely not.
Fucking hell, if he Dionysus, maybe.
He doesn't drive through. He drives in.
He was at an exhibition event and he was just doing a range of shots showing his Q power, and his technique and his Q power is crazy, especially his Q power. Amazing. You'd expect his Q power to be good. You won't think it's be that frame. You know what I mean? It's not going to be flimsy, is it?
Yeah.
Like a polar bear at the frigging table. And just showing that he got reprimanded with this, like, was it 10-year ban? I think it might have been longer than. Yeah, I think it is. Cause
you are the only person still banging on the drum of.
It was awesome. It was a great play. I just loved the way he showed his appreciation for the table, rather than a little tap. He full palm. Bang. So much so that the balls were moving a bit every time he had a ball. Some plays a snooker, his ball moves a little bit close to the pocket as he slams on the table. But anyway, it'd be nice to see him come back.
Very much how you used to play. You used to do that annoying thing where you'd go around the ball that used to wind everybody up.
Go around the ball, yeah. That was annoying, actually. Yeah. So let's get down because we've got 2 more brackets to go then. So let's go back up to the
Yeah.
top half of the draw. So Mark Allen, Barry Hawkins. Barry Hawkins is always someone who, good old lefty, but he hangs around. But he always goes under the radar, doesn't he?
Bit like a Bingham.
He's Welsh though. Yeah, but Bingham's won friggin' Masters and the World Champs.
Barry Hawkins is always reminds me of a dog.
He's
Lovable
incredibly
hound.
bright. Yeah, a little bit.
You can tell.
Isn't he managed by?
We'll come back to you.
Is he managed by? Is it Terry Griffiths, the old Welsh guy? Snooker player.
Not Terry Graham's.
Not Terry Graham's. Yeah, Mark Allen versus Bingham. Now this is the time for Mark Allen. If you really are going to start breaking into like the top 5, I mean he's 5th in the world now, but you win this. You know what I mean? Win this.
You fight him off.
End up against Trump in the next round, and then show us what you're really made of. You know what I mean? At least get to the quarters. And then, like I said, he'll be up against Judge Trump or Ryan Day. Ryan Day was freaking hanging about.
Well, he's going to be up
ago.
against Judge Trump.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I keep saying Barry Hawkins is Welsh. Apparently, he's from Kent. And also, I think he's right-handed, not left-handed.
Who's the Welsh lefty you're thinking
Welsh
about?
lefty. He's left-handed.
I mean, is it Mark Williams?
I think maybe he just plays right-handed with the rest. I do that. I do that as well. It doesn't say that on my Wikipedia.
Are you basing how he's?
Wikipedia.
Are you got a picture of him playing?
Yeah, well, it's a sort of mural on my wall.
Artistic license.
Yeah.
And then the other tomorrow playing is Mark Williams versus David Gilbert.
Oh,
and David Gilbert was recently in the qualifying for German. Yeah, and he lost 3. Well, he walked out actually after 3-2 defeat.
Yeah, that's right. Mark Williams should be winning that, but
do you know he writes dyslexically on Twitter and doesn't take it down? It's random.
Mark Williams is someone that you never want to put money on, just because you don't know if you're going to show up for the day. You know what I mean? Like I never put money on him.
Yeah, he's definitely that friend. Yeah, he's that friend who will either rock up and get you there on time or not rock up at all.
Speaking of rocks, let's move on to the Rocket, because Ronnie is in the final final match of the last 16, and he won earlier today against Luke Brissell. And we
watched a bit of it.
This day one. Woo! Finally.
Did you watch it all? No.
I watched about 3 frames. 3 frames. Oh no, 4. We were the first session. Well, it was just one session, but you know what I mean, before the halftime interval. Mid-session interval. Ronnie won 6-1 against Luca Brissell. Spanked him. He spanked him.
Absolutely spanked him.
When you play
but
Ronnie,
there was brilliant.
There
was a brilliant. The third frame was brilliant. 3 in-offs, 2 from Luca, 1 from Ronnie. I mean, that's rare in any game. And Luke learned a little fact, didn't you? Remember?
Go on.
If you go in off on a colour.
Yes, if you're down to the colours and you're going off, the colour comes back onto the table, which we definitely should know. But I just assumed, like when you're on a red, the red just stays in the pocket and the foul points are awarded to the opponent. But the person gets the foul point and comes back to the table and the colour comes back on. So you can catch them up.
And in that frame as well, you'll remember Luca Brissell scored a double pointer.
What do you mean?
2 reds, 1 shot.
2 reds, 1 shot. Did you talk about how much the white went into the pocket? Did you mention that?
Yeah. I said 3 in offs. That's literally what we were talking about just a second ago.
Very good.
So, yeah, Ronnie looking good, looking strong, but he is against Luca Brissell. So, you know. Gotta hope that he can continue because he will be up against... Who's he up against? Williams.
He's up against Williams
or Gilbert.
And,
depends
Gilbert
who
has a chance. If Gilbert starts to frustrate Williams, I mean, I could easily see him beating Williams. I don't have any faith in Williams.
Yeah. And then on right now is Hon Jiggins versus Jack Lekowski.
Oh, is that what we're playing now?
So I'll give you the live...
Yes.
I'm just about to tell you.
So is that
Lesowski leads against Higgins.
What's the score?
It's got an hour in, so probably
so as we like to close out the show, well, we've got 2 features. So whilst Dan quickly gets up his Hue or Q feature, I'll give Dan a moment just to put that together. I will just rattle off a few. Let's make a few big predictions, right? We're going to have 2 each about the Masters this year. big predictions. My first big prediction, I think there's going to be a commentary box spat of some kind.
Ooh.
Commentary box spat. Maybe it doesn't make the news, but it makes our sort of news, snooker news. But yes, some sort of, because you've got a few new commentators coming in. They're not quite gelled. The chemistry's not quite there with some of the seasoned pros. So I'm going to go for a spat in the commentary booth. It's probably going to be a spat at the table, usually anyway.
Who do you think's going to spat?
And also, let's go for a wild one. I think there's going to be a new winner at the Masters. You say, someone that's not won it before. You know what I mean? Like you've got like Jack Wazowski's got a nice little route through to the semis if he can make that. Do you know what I mean? It's a shorter format. It helps us sort of players. So they've got Murphy's won it before, but Karen Wilson's not won it. Bingham has won it. Actually, that's not a great bet. But anyway, let's go for that. Let's go for that new winner at the Masters. Dan, maybe you should give me one because I know your head's in the game. What What are you thinking? What are you thinking for? Remember, Hugh or Q? Just give us 3, Dan. We only need 3, and one of them's the actual Q. That's all you need to do. What's a big prediction?
One of them's the actual Q.
Bold prediction for the Masters, just quickly.
I think Ronnie's going to lose in the final.
Ooh, so he'll get to the final, but he'll lose to someone in the top half of the draw. So probably maybe a Murphy, maybe a Judd Trump.
Yeah.
Maybe a Mark Allen. Maybe a Karen Wilson.
Yeah. Maybe a Karen Wilson.
Had Karen Wilson's number, doesn't he? Okay, just before we do Hugh, let's do Hugh or Q first. Then we'll do the nickname game. So Dan, Hugh or Q, 3 of them. One's a Q, 2 of them are Hughes from the whose colour chart, Dan?
Dulux colour chart.
Sponsored.
Just need to draw that up.
Remember, to be pretty quick. You haven't got it up. Okay, so before we do that, it's fine. Nope. We'll do the nickname game quickly. Yeah. So nickname game.
Let's do it.
One of these is correct. 3 of them are lie. And the probably this year, because this time we mentioned him so much, it's Hossein Zafai. You can imagine I had a bit of fun with this one, Dan. Hossein Zafai. Dan, remember, one of these is correct. One of them is not. Is it?
Yeah.
One Hand Mohammed.
You've made some of these up, right?
Is it Osama bin Laden with errors at the table? Is it Harry Potter and the Flying Carpet?
Yeah.
Or is it? I did this while you were talking about some fucking shit about some balls going in pockets in the game. Or is it Prince of Persia? So which one?
I mean, I hope it's Prince of Persia.
I hope you can sneeze again on camera. Yes, it is Prince of Persia. I mean, I wish it was Osama bin Laden with errors. Okay, Dan.
What was the first one?
One Hand Mohammed. Right, something to do like you get your hand cut off for stealing. I don't know. Okay. I think they're okay.
Right.
The 2.
So these are all from. Remember, it's Hugh or Q. The Hugh we're talking about is.
We're gonna have to be quick. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Pink.
So is it Jasmine Shimmer, Vulcan Pink, or Fuchsia Lily?
Oh.
Which one of them is a Q and which 2 are Hues?
Is it a male player?
The
Q. Whose Q is it? Is it a specific person's Q, or is it just a brand of Q?
No, it's just a brand of Q.
Not a player. Makes the feature a bit
Not
less.
a specific player.
Try and get a player in future. No? So can I have
those
1 more time?
Seconds.
Can I have those 1 more time? Well, I
came
up with Osama bin Laden with errors. So that's not a good. It's not about an excuse.
And it shows Jasmine Shimmer, Vulcan Pink,
some Star Trek,
Fuchsia Lily,
trans. And what's the one? Fuchsia Lily. Fuchsia Lily has to be. Fuchsia Lily. They're 2 different colours. Doesn't really work for a colour chart as 1 shade of colour. Curious. Vulcan Pink.
Curious.
And what's the top one?
Jasmine Shimmer.
I think the bottom one, number 3, Fuchsia Pink. No, Fuchsia Lily is a Q.
Vulcan Pink was the Q.
Vulcan Pink. That was going to be my next guess. And who does that belong to?
It's just one you can buy online, Luke. It's
Ooh.
a Vulcan pink handmade rosewood ashen snooker cue.
Who? And then if someone was to use that, who would you reckon would use that?
Oh, I've got a good one. Got a good one for next time.
Okay, good. And if
Good one for
someone
next
was
time.
to use Vulcan Pink, what player would you reckon would use Vulcan Pink?
Oh, Han.
Han. Well, he's sort of become a bit softer in his older years, hasn't he?
He has. He has.
Matches his lips. Blowjob lips. Um Horrible. Okay, Dan, I think
Awful.
for quite an ad hoc show, this might be the best episode we've ever done.
Purely given the context of given it was so ad hoc. Yes.
Okay.
By that modicum of yes.
Yeah. When are we back? Soon.
Whenever.
Before the Masters final. We'll see you then. Come on, Ronnie.
Woo!
You're tossing someone off.